Hello everyone. It's Lennon and I am doing another outside video because it's nice out here. It's overcast, which is my favorite time. Like my all-time favorite sky is a gray one. I don't know what it is about a gray sky. But anyways, so I'm out and immersed in it. And I was thinking, I was watching somebody on YouTube talk about like oracle decks, and I don't know what I was doing. It was probably one of Candy's videos because she's so inspiring. And I kept thinking, oh, this would be so cool. I want to get my decks out. I want to look through them. And I don't know why, but I kept thinking that I don't own a lot of oracle decks because I'm a tarot person, you know. I like to get out my tarot decks and I like the structure, I guess. I like the structure of tarot. And I don't really pull oracles out a lot. I do, but not a lot. And so I don't know why, but I kept thinking I didn't own a lot of them. And it wasn't until my most recent oracle purchase, which has led me down very good journeys with like my shadow work. And I had no idea that this deck would do, like, pull so many things out of me. It is a tower year for me, and let me tell you folks, whoo, it's been a rough couple of months. And we're not even halfway through the year yet, and I'm already feeling the turmoil. Okay. Just within my household and my family, and dropping relationships, and some of the traumas that my children have experienced recently has been very hard to deal with. And I have experienced a couple of emotionally traumatic, I've had a couple of traumatic experiences with the family member that I'm having to rethink the whole relationship. And my most recent oracle purchase has really helped unlock some of the underlying issues. And I guess I wanted to touch on what that deck is, and then kind of share some other oracles that kind of are on the same lines. So I'm kind of playing with my decks, but we're talking about shadow and we're talking about deep things that these decks have helped me unlock. So I guess this is like a shadow work oracle deck video. But my most recent purchase is the dark edition of the Truth deck. These lovely ladies have made a couple of decks. I think like the Reconciliation deck, the Truth deck, a couple of oracles, and I think a tarot. Anyway, all I own of theirs is the dark edition, which the backs look like this, which is so cool. Look at that movement. I'm sorry if you can hear the construction work. I think I go to sleep every night hearing the beep of the reverse beep of machinery for like months now. But anyway, some of the fronts, they're very minimalist, which, if you are familiar with me, you know that that's not really my style, but for some reason it works with this deck. This is called Manipulative. It kind of reminds me of like the Rorschach test, you know, like, I don't know. It just is very primitive kind of drawings. This is conniving, clingy. Ooh, there's some shadow. I mean, there is some shadow words involved in this oracle deck. Okay. Imbalanced. It's kind of slippery, so I'm hoping that it's not going to fall out of my hands. Timid. Addicted. Jealous. I hope that the words are probably backwards for y'all. So I just wanted to show you like some examples of the words that this oracle deck has on them, and they're really, sometimes when you pull, you immediately get, or I immediately get a vision of something, of a memory of something, of a trauma even. And ooh, I've had some episodes where I've just like locked down and cried. Obnoxious. Dramatic. This was hard for me to deal with because I have a family member that every time I have a passionate response to something, or a high response to something, like if I'm animated, then they say, Lennon, you're just being dramatic. It's like, no, my feelings aren't dramatic. And I implore you to respect my feelings and to not call them drama anymore, because they're not. Just because I have a passionate response doesn't mean I'm full of drama. So anyway, that was a hard card to pull once, or when I did. Draining. Victim. Bratty. Ooh, gossiper. Some of these, see, they have like, for me, they hold, I don't want to say sexual trauma, I want to say sexual shadows. Shadows involving your sex life. Like this, it's called temptress. It's like, just because you like sex doesn't mean you're a temptress. Just because, you know, you've had sex with X amount of people does not make you a slut. Stuff like that. It's just, there's a lot of shadow involved in that stuff. Denial. Rigid. Ooh, and I like that that's the color of ice. Like a ice blue. I like that. It works. It works. Liar. So some of these are so hard. They're words that are gonna pull that stuff out of you. Inconsiderate. When have you been inconsiderate? I've been wanting to work with the Skin Deep decks, you know, because those are kind of oracles, but they have questions, right? And it's like, if I pulled a card that had a question, read the question, sit with the question in my mind, and then pull one of these, and like, let's say one of these cards has like one of the questions from the strangers deck or the couples deck or the family deck, right? It's like, and let's just say you pull the word, what is this, critical? Some stuff's gonna come out of that. Some stuff's gonna come out of that, folks. Ruthless. See, I don't have a lot of shadow with this, because I am. If I want something, I'm gonna get it. Womanizer. I'm trying to tell you that these are tough words when they come in reading. For me, I don't know what it is about this deck, but thief. God, I don't know what it is. Anyways, so this video came about because I've recently purchased that. I've been working with it. I've been trying to sit with questions, hard questions in my mind, and then pull one of those cards and then kind of see where that as the answer would lead for me. And it has led to some pretty raw things, okay? It's not joking around. So I guess the other decks that do this for me, but there's like not necessarily words that associate it. It's like an image. They're more of my abstract decks. They're more of those decks that really don't have like, they have humanoids in them. They don't have like people in them. I should try it with decks that have people in them. But I don't know. It just is what it is. So my Greenwood, it's my little pocket. I've made it into a pocket edition. I trimmed the hell out of this to where it's like this itty bitty thing. But there's something about like the art in this. I don't know, like this looks like this doorway. This looks like a totem pole. And it is very Celtic in nature, but there's something about the art that pulls some shadows in me out. And it's very good at doing it in a way that I can process. Just like the words, I can process the words, I can think about the words, and for some reason this, I'm trying to get this in, like, I don't know, better images, but let's do it this way. I don't know, look at that mama bear. I'm a mama bear, so that holds true to my heart. So my Greenwood is definitely an oracle, even though it's a tarot. I use it as an oracle. It's one of those decks that pulls some of those abstract, collective, unconscious images out of me. So, you know, that's good for that. And then I have my soul cards. Now, I use my soul cards for a lot of stuff, okay? Like dream initiation and whatever you could think of that you could use abstract images for. I've used the soul cards for. I've had it for like 10 plus years and it's soul cards 1. I do own soul cards 2, but for some reason I never really pull that out. Like it's in my tarot dresser, but I don't ever tend to pull out soul cards 2 for some reason. And there's something about the dark tones in some of these cards in soul cards 1 that really gets me down to that like inner realm, that realm of the underworld, you know? So, and it links me to like this sacred ancient energy that does something to my soul. Like some of them are very sedate, like pastel like kind of, you know, but I tend to pull these dark toned images and it just shoves me. It like puts my mind right into the underworld, and it does some really cool things to my vision quests, my dreams, things like that. I've spoke about this card in a video before, but there was just something about this card. This could be the Empress in a tarot deck, like for real. I don't know. Something about like, look at this. It's like walking in the cosmos in your own brain. If that's not a shadow deck, I don't know what is. So soul cards 1. Woo! I love this deck. The next deck is Tree Whisper Oracle by Mags. I'm so upset that she doesn't have her channel anymore. Oh, like I miss her and Toby so bad. But anyways, this deck, which she's manipulated to be like mirror images. There's something about this deck. When I think of the world, like how the world began, what has been here? What has been on this earth since it started? Plant life, right? Plant life was first. Actually, it was algae, okay, but still. When I think of the ancientness of Mother Earth, I think of trees and I think of grass. Those two things. And I think of water too, but mostly it's trees. Because I think if I lived more close to the sea, I would think of the sea more, but I always think of trees. So when I got this deck, which I had to have, the words, at first it was the images and it was send me on quest of that, but for some reason the words help unlock some of the underworld things for me too in the shadow. Like this story. Oh my God. The beyond, or beyond. Stillness. Oh. Nurture, which is like one of my favorite cards. But then there's other cards like this. It's called Challenge. So these are really, really good words that unlock things for me. Initiation. Oh, God, that's so powerful. Oh, not to mention the actual trees themselves. There is some magic in these trees. And I know that Mags recognized that. That's why she took these pictures. There's just something about this deck that I love. Oh, my incense burned out. I am burning, coincidentally enough, I'm burning Mother Earth incense, which was sent to me by a lovely friend. You know who you are. I actually had to go on a quest to find more of this because I've been like burning the hell out of this. There's something about this scent. It links me to Mother Earth, and it's such an earthy scent. I want to wear it as a perfume. Oh, God. So, I'm burning some Mother Earth incense. Also, the next two oracles, or the last two oracles, I should say, came in this box of goodies from this friend of mine. And I've been trying to work with it to see what I can see inside these oracle decks as well, because I haven't had them, I haven't owned them, so I have to kind of like get to know them a little bit. And they've actually been helping me. I've been using them because they're new, right? So they've been like on a nightstand, and I've been like pulling them out more and more lately just because they're new to me. So along with that, the Dark Edition deck that I've recently acquired, these two have come in a box of goodies to me, so they're new to me. Anyway, this one is called the Winged Enchantment Oracle. And it's not got a lot of cards. I think it's like some 50 something. But it's about birds. You can't really tell it's about birds from the back. These are the back cards. Look at that purple. God. It's about, like, this is eagle, right? And it's about you being the eagle, you being these birds, you embodying these birds, right? Look at that swan. Of course, it reminds me of Candy because she works with swans. The duck. But I do like how there's people in the deck. And like, look at this this elder's face in the trees there. You really have to look for it, but I love that. So I kind of like how it's mixing the people with the birds, like you're actually embodying the bird. And I've always wanted to embody a bird. Like, when I see birds flying, I try to link my mind with theirs so that I can see what they see. I've always wanted to fly. If I ever had a superpower, that's what it would be. I want to be one with air. And I think my friend knew that. That's why she sent me this deck. Waxwing. Some of these birds I hadn't even heard about before. Let's get to one that I have pulled recently. I recently pulled the finch. Look at this crow. Look at that ancient goddess there. Their white hair flowing. Oh God. Look at this. Like, this is a child. It looks like a child to me. Dove. I don't know. There's just something about magpie. You know, you like to collect things. I do like how there's like a face inside the image. I'm trying to get, I have a friend here on YouTube. Her name is Ren. Here we go. Here's Ren. I'm going to show you the Ren card, Ren. No shit, that actually kind of looks like you. A little. Maybe it's wishful thinking, but look. Look at that moon and the wings and that like feather necklace. God. And all those wrens flying. And like, look at that, like down here it looks like roots. God. That is definitely a good card. And it's about embodying the birds, and I've used it a couple of times as clarifiers to my tarot readings. I haven't used it by itself, but for some reason the messages are so clear. They're so clear. And when you read the guidebook, which just is a little bitty, you know, little white book to it, there's so much packed information with the birds. It's just been healing me. Let me get the little white book out. So it's a little, you know. Let me read the Wren. I am Wren, the active spirit and giving heart. I am poetic inspiration. I am the energy of life and the utilization of everything this earth yields. I waste no time. I squander no resources. I am life lived to its fullest. I am the bold use of both agility and wit. You have encountered a need to stay alert. You have reason to make things move quickly now. I have your reminder that you have put things into motion and so must maintain momentum. Expand your circle and utilize those around you for help. You may find others an asset to your accomplishments. I am the determination to follow the path that lay ahead. Trust the tug of your spirit and carry onward. That's so beautiful. Some of these decks I need boxes for, or bags or something. I don't have any tarot bags. I need to just do the plunge and buy some tarot bags for these things, because they're just like sitting out in a drawer. Anyways, the last deck was in a box of those goodies that my friend bought me, or sent me. Oh, so overwhelmed. I can't thank that person enough. Anyways, so the last deck I want to share is the Sacred Rebels. Like, look at the backs of this. Oh my God. I feel like this is going to be one of those decks that I use in my triple goddess practice, in my fourfold witchcraft practice, just because of the backs. I'm going to definitely use this for altar cards and altar work, and not that I have an altar, but there's some sacred spaces in my house that I put things like this with like crystals and stuff. So anyway, I feel like I'm going to use this in sacred space. I'm going to use this like as meditation type things. So, God, I did not realize that an oracle deck could be this filling to me. I just love it. Some of the images for me are, you know, I mean, of course, because it's not going to be 100% perfect, but the quality of this deck is on point, okay? And I did a reading with this. I did like a, usually my go-to is a 3-card spread. And usually with oracles, I only pull one. But I was feeling, I don't know, I was laying in bed one night and I was feeling generous. So I pulled a 3-card spread. And the message, I don't know, it made me cry. It made me feel, it kind of made me feel empty. And I had to work through that night before I went to bed. And I journaled about it. And things like that. So I can already tell that this oracle is going to pull some stuff out of me like that too. I'm feeling called to pull a card. Like, I haven't really shown y'all a lot of cards from the decks. It shuffles like a dream. Even though it's kind of big, like, my fingers are stretched to the nines when I shuffle this deck. But I'm feeling called to pull a card for you guys as we end this, I don't know, oracle for shadow work video that I'm doing. What does that say? Guidance for living a unique and authentic life. Okay. We'll see about that. I don't know why I have like this sacred doubt when it comes to stuff like this. But like when people put connotations on things, I'm like, I'll prove that wrong. I don't know what it is. All right, what did we get? Ooh, look at that. Softly, softly, the tender touch. Let's see if that resonates with you guys. What does the guidebook say? The feminine wisdom of gentleness can assist you now. Softly, softly, the tender touch. Okay. When we are at a point in life where we want to attain greater things but don't necessarily have a proportionally greater supply of energy at our disposal, it is time to work smarter rather than harder. This is a time of feminine wisdom. Okay? Basically, work harder, not smarter. No, work smarter, not harder. However, we're getting into some stuff. Listen to this. However, a cultural ignorance of the feminine way currently prevails. We are generally taught that the more force we use, the more we try to make things happen, the more we will achieve. The feminine way is not about force, nor is it about driving, striving, pushing, or grabbing at what we can in order to create. It is about inviting what we wish for to come into the space we have provided for it, internally and in our lives. Ooh, she goes and tells a story about the sun versus the wind and how they were debating on who was more powerful. Can't wait to read that, because y'all know I'm a wind goddess. You don't need to push quite so hard to receive what is naturally coming to you. I like that message. Now, at the end of these, it's like got a healing process. It says, say aloud, I shine like the sun, radiant with grace, and all that I desire comes to me according to perfect timing. I relax, believe, and receive. Through unconditional love, this is now so. What will we do with that message today? Why is she crying? Is it because she's working too hard? And what is this stuff coming out of her mouth? Is that the work she's putting in? I do like this like sacred geometry behind her head, like a halo. Like that lotus right here. I like the lotus. I do kind of feel like this deck isn't inclusive in a way. I don't know, maybe that's just, I don't know, like, if we all look like this. Don't you just want to bite the apple of her ass? Just like too perfect, you know? Just like, my teeth marks will make it less perfect, okay? Just like everyone's so perfect in this deck, you know, except for the tears. Even the tears shine like mother of pearls. Look how visceral this image is. I think of these bracelets right here because of the like grayness of the image, and then this like fierce gold of the bracelets. It doesn't really feel like bracelets. It feels like bondage, and it says releasing out allegiances. So it's like breaking the shackles. Could be the devil card. Who knows? That one's really nice. Love that. Look at the seahorses. Jesus. Oh. This reminds me of Mother Mary. Going beyond normal. Don't like that word. I do not like that word. I don't know. This was the first card I ever pulled out of this deck. Restore and replenish. And it fit me that day. It fit me that day for real. I was like, I'm going to take a nap. Anyways, I'm rambling now. So here's some oracles that I have been using and know from using them a couple of times, like with these two, the latest decks that I have, that will be good for like diving into that realm that takes a lot of work to wade through, you know, like molasses. And these are some of my favorites, so I hope you enjoy. Leave some of your favorites below, or whatever. Oracles for shadow work, hashtag, I don't know. Do whatever you want. I just felt like sharing. I've been so inspired lately to get like multiple decks out and kind of share what they've been doing to me lately and for me. So I'd love to hear from you. Anyway, much love, people.